In a world full of noise and chaos, we often forget that true peace is not something to be found. It is neither a luxury nor a retreat from reality. Peace is a power we create within ourselves. In this video, we will reveal how, with every step, every choice, every movement, you can build your inner harmony and become a revolutionary in your own world. This revolution starts with you. So let's begin. Peace is not the absence of noise, nor the mere stillness of the body. It is a storm, conquered within the self. You have been told that peace is passive, a retreat from life, a coward's solace. But I say to you, true peace is rebellion, a defiance against the chaos of the world and the tyranny of your restless mind. It is not given, it is seized, carved out with the precision of a blade against the relentless grind of existence. To be at peace is to stand firm amidst the tempest, to feel the pull of 1,000 distractions and yet remain unmoved. The world shouts, demands your attention, commands your obedience. Peace whispers instead. It calls you to rise above the din, to claim your own sovereignty. When you are at peace, you are not weak, you are unassailable. You are no longer a prisoner of anxiety, fear, or the endless grind of ambition. You are the master of your own being, the sculptor of your own destiny. And yet, peace is not soft, it is sharp. It requires discipline, not surrender. To live in peace is to live with courage, for it demands you confront the chaos within, the shadows you have long avoided. It is not escape, it is confrontation. A battle waged and won each day. Those who seek peace as mere comfort will find it fleeting, for true peace does not coddle. It demands your strength. Do not mistake this for a luxury afforded to the idle. No, peace is necessity itself, the foundation upon which all greatness is built. Without it, you are but a leaf, tossed by the winds of circumstance. With it, you are an oak, rooted deeply, unshaken by the storms of life. Seek peace not as an end, but as a beginning, for only in peace can you truly hear the voice of your own soul, and only in peace can you begin the daring act of creating yourself anew. This is the peace worth fighting for, the peace that transcends the trivialities of comfort and becomes the essence of your very power. Silence, as a defiance against the society of noise. You live in a world that demands your attention every moment, every second. It is a society that thrives on noise, where the clamor of countless voices competes to drown out your own. They tell you that to disconnect is to disappear, that to step away is to fade into irrelevance. Yet I tell you this, true relevance is not found in their noise, but in your silence. To embrace silence is to declare war on the tyranny of distraction. It is an act of rebellion against the ceaseless flood of information that seeks to enslave you, to keep you perpetually reactive, perpetually consuming, perpetually numb. The system fears your silence because it cannot control what it cannot hear. When you choose silence, you choose to step outside their arena, to reject their rules, to become untouchable. But silence is not a retreat, it is a stance. To fall silent is to confront yourself, to face the truths that the noise has so long concealed. It is in the absence of distraction that you meet your fears, your doubts, and your aspirations in their rawest form. It is here, in the vast stillness, that you begin to hear the whispers of your true self, buried beneath layers of imposed thoughts and borrowed opinions. Yet silence is not for the faint of heart. It is not a refuge for the weak. It is a crucible for the strong. To step into silence is to confront the void, and in that void you will find either despair or liberation. Those who dare to endure it will emerge sharper, freer, and more alive. You will be called strange, perhaps even mad, for choosing this path. Let them call you what they will. For in your silence, you will discover something the noisy masses will never understand. The power to think for yourself, the courage to create your own path, and the clarity to see the world as it truly is. This is the defiance the system fears. Most, not a shout, but a profound, unyielding quiet. So dare to unplug, dare to vanish from their chaotic symphony, dare to hear the sound of your own soul. And when you do, you will know that silence is not absence, it is presence, distilled and pure. It is the sound of your freedom. Your chaos is the source of your freedom. You have been taught to fear chaos, to see it as the enemy of order, the destroyer of peace. Yet I tell you, your chaos is not your curse, it is your liberation. Within the whirlwind of your fears, your doubts and your unspoken desires lies the raw material of your freedom. Chaos is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the fertile ground from which the most daring acts of creation arise. To deny your chaos is to deny yourself. It is to live as a shadow, a ghost shaped by the expectations of others. But to embrace it, to truly confront the chaos within you, is an act of profound courage. It is to stare into the depths of your pain, your shame, your longing, and see them not as adversaries, but as teachers. Your fears are not chains, they are keys. Your suffering is not punishment. It is a fire, burning away the falsehoods you cling to, revealing the truth of who you are. Freedom does not come from avoiding chaos. It comes from mastering it. The storm within you is not there to destroy you. It is there to test you, to force you to grow, to demand that you rise. Freedom lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the wisdom to navigate it. To transform your chaos into order is not to silence it, but to orchestrate it, to make it sing with purpose and power. And when you do, you will discover that what you once called chaos was nothing more than potential, unshaped, untamed, but infinite. It is in the act of embracing this chaos that you reclaim your autonomy, your strength, your will. To own your chaos is to declare to the world, I am not afraid. I will not be ruled by fear, by convention, by the fragile order that others impose. I will carve my own path, not despite the chaos, but because of it. This is the paradox they never told you. Chaos is not the antithesis of order. It is its origin, and only those who dare to descend into its depths will ascend to the heights of true freedom. Embrace your chaos, for within it lies your power to break free. The art of saying no. To say no is to wield power, power over your life, your time, your destiny. And yet, how often do you surrender this power? How often do you say yes to what diminishes you, to what drains your energy, to what leaves you hollow? They have taught you that to say no is selfish, that to refuse is to betray some unspoken duty to others. But I tell you this, to say no is not selfish, it is sacred. It is the ultimate act of respect for yourself and the life you are meant to live. Every no you utter is a wall, not of rejection, but of protection. It is a boundary that keeps the trivial, the meaningless, the parasitic forces of the world from encroaching on the sacred space where your purpose resides. Saying no is not an act of destruction, it is an act of creation. With every refusal, you carve out more room for the things that truly matter, your passions, your growth, your vision for the life you dare to imagine. But saying no is not easy. It requires courage, for every no carries the weight of confrontation. You fear the discomfort it brings, the judgment it invites, yet this fear is the very chain that binds you to a life not your own. To say no is to shatter that chain, to stand tall and declare, I will not be consumed by what is unworthy of me. When you master the art of saying no, you become free. Free from the endless obligations that rob you of your time and energy. Free from the expectations of others that seek to mold you into something you are not. Free to say yes to what truly matters, to what aligns with your soul. Do not fear the word no. It is not a weapon but a shield. Wield it with precision, with grace, with unshakable conviction. Let it be the filter through which the noise of the world passes, leaving only the music of your true calling. For every no you speak is a declaration of who you are, a refusal to betray yourself, a step closer to the life you deserve. Learn to say no, not with hesitation, but with pride. For in that simple word lies the power to reclaim your life. The power of solitude. Learn to be alone with yourself. Solitude is the crucible of strength, yet it is feared by many as if it were a punishment. Society has taught you to equate being alone with being abandoned, to see silence as an echo of emptiness. But I tell you this, solitude is not your enemy. It is your ally, your sanctuary, your forge. To be truly alone is to strip away the masks you wear for others and confront the essence of who you are. It is in these moments of solitude that you are no longer a reflection of the world, but a creation of your own will. In the stillness of solitude, you begin to hear the voice of your soul, clear, unfiltered, and unyielding. It is here, away from the noise of the crowd, that you find the raw material of your inner power. Solitude is not an absence. It is a presence, a heightened awareness of the self. To embrace it is to gather your scattered energy, to pull back the fragments of your mind, and to ignite a flame that burns only for you. But solitude is not passive. It is an active engagement with the depths of your being. In solitude, you wrestle with your doubts, your fears, your desires, and in that struggle, you are tempered like steel. It is not a retreat from the world, but a preparation to re-enter it stronger, clearer, and more alive. The person who fears being alone fears themselves, for they have not yet dared to meet the truth within. To transform loneliness into strength, you must not flee from it, but dive into it. Discover the beauty of a quiet mind, the clarity of uninterrupted thought, the sheer power of focusing on what truly matters. Solitude is a mirror, showing you not the distorted image that others project onto you, but the unpolished, unbroken reality of your essence. Do not fear the stillness, do not fear the empty room, for it is in solitude that the great works of the mind are born, that the seeds of revolution are planted, and that the strongest bonds with oneself are forged. Embrace your aloneness, not as isolation but as a gift, a rare opportunity to reclaim what the world seeks to take from you, your time, your energy, your truth. Solitude is not a void, it is a wellspring. Drink deeply, and you will find within it the energy, the clarity, and the courage to stand unshaken in the face of anything. Learn to be alone, and you will discover that you are never truly lonely, because in solitude you are finally whole. Breath as the philosopher's tool. In the chaos of existence, amidst the turbulence of life, there is one act so simple, so primal, that its profound power is often overlooked: the act of breathing. Yet to breathe with awareness is to wield a tool capable of reshaping your inner world. It is not merely the sustenance of the body, it is the anchor of the soul, the rhythm of existence itself. To control your breath is to grasp the reins of your being, to transcend the storms within and without. When stress strikes, it seeks to unseat you, to scatter your mind and chain you to panic. But within the storm lies your refuge, the breath, steady, deliberate, unyielding. Every conscious inhale becomes an act of defiance against chaos. Every exhale, a release of what does not serve you. To breathe mindfully is to reclaim your center, to remind yourself that no matter what rages around you, you remain sovereign over your own state. The philosopher does not seek to escape the trials of life, but to endure them with clarity and strength. And here lies the secret. The breath is not only survival, it is transformation. In moments of despair, it grounds you. In moments of rage, it softens you. In moments of fear, it sharpens your focus. Each breath is a conversation with the universe, a declaration that you remain present, unbroken, fully alive. Breathing is the simplest of acts, and yet it is the most profound. It is the pulse of life, the rhythm of thought, the gateway to the stillness within. To master your breath is to master your mind, for the two are inseparable. The philosopher understands this, that the answers we seek, the peace we crave, are not found in the distant and abstract. They are found in the immediate, in the act of living itself, in the quiet power of a single intentional breath. This is not mere technique. It is philosophy in action. To breathe consciously is to affirm your existence, to claim your space in the world with purpose and dignity. It is to transform the most fundamental act of life into an instrument of wisdom, into a weapon against the forces that seek to unbalance you. Let your breath become your ally, your guide, your source of unshakable calm. For in the deliberate act of breathing, you will find a truth that no storm can take from you. The power to remain yourself, no matter what the world demands. The philosopher's tool is not a pen or a book, it is the breath. Use it, and the world will find no crack in your armor. Peace in action, how to stop chasing everything at once. You are told that to live fully, you must chase everything. The dreams they sell, the goals they set, the paths they pave for you. Run faster, they say, or be left behind. But this endless chase, this frantic pursuit of everything, leads not to fulfillment but to fragmentation. You are stretched thin, a shadow of yourself, sprinting toward a horizon that never comes closer. Yet in this chaos lies the profound truth they don't want you to see. The act of chasing is the very thing that keeps you from living. To cease this chase is not surrender. It is awakening. It is the realization that not everything deserves your energy, that not every path is yours to walk. Peace in action is not the absence of ambition, but the discipline to direct it. It is the wisdom to know that the life worth living is not built by scattering your efforts, but by focusing them with unwavering intent. Stop. Breathe. Look at what you are chasing. Is it yours? Or is it a reflection of someone else's desires, a mirage crafted by the world to keep you running? The moment you choose to stop chasing everything, you begin to see clearly. You see the few things, the rare things that truly matter. And when you focus on them, you discover a depth, a richness that the endless chase could never offer. Peace in action is not about doing less. It is about doing better. It is the art of saying no to the trivial, the meaningless, the distractions that rob you of your time and soul. It is the courage to prioritize, to devote yourself fully to what aligns with your essence. This is not passivity. It is mastery. It is not slowness. It is precision. To live this way is to reclaim your power, to no longer be a slave to the noise of the world. In this clarity, you will find freedom. Not the freedom to do everything, but the freedom to do what matters. And as you walk this path, you will feel a strength you have never known, a strength born not from the frantic chase, but from the calm, deliberate steps of a life lived with purpose. Let go of the need to chase everything. You are not a fleeting spark, desperate to burn out in all directions. You are a fire, focused, steady, and unyielding. And in this fire, you will find not only peace, but the power to shape a life that is truly your own. Great thoughts are born in silence. In a world that never stops speaking, there is a profound truth hidden in the quiet. The greatest thoughts do not emerge from the noise of the crowd, but from the stillness of the mind. We are surrounded by a constant clamor, a cacophony of voices, demands, and distractions, all clamoring for our attention. Yet in this relentless bombardment, the most important conversations, the ones that shape our destiny, are drowned out, lost in the chaos. To think deeply, to truly create, you must withdraw from this din. You must carve out space for silence, not as an escape, but as a sanctuary. In the absence of sound, your mind becomes a canvas, untainted by the opinions of others, unclouded by the noise of the world. It is in this quiet that your thoughts can breathe, take form, and evolve. Greatness is not born from mindless activity, nor from chasing after every fleeting idea that comes your way. Greatness is born when you give yourself the gift of time, time to think, to reflect, to let your mind wander and return to its true center. In silence, the deepest truths emerge. It is here that you confront your own limitations, your own desires, and your own potential. It is here that you can hear your soul whisper the answers you've longed for. To make space for deep thought is not to waste time. It is to honor the most powerful tool you possess, your mind. It is to recognize that only in solitude, in reflection, do you uncover the ideas that transcend the ordinary, the thoughts that define what is truly yours. Greatness is a product of this sacred space. The philosophers, the artists, the creators, those who have shaped the course of history, did not arrive at their insights by drowning themselves in the noise of the world. They sought silence. They embraced it. They allowed their minds to wander freely, untethered from the expectations of others. And in that quiet, they gave birth to the ideas that would shake the foundations of society. In this silence, you find yourself, not the self the world wants you to be, but the self that exists beyond the distractions, the self that is capable of true creation. To allow yourself the luxury of time for deep thought is not a sign of weakness. It is a declaration of power, the power to think for yourself, to reflect deeply, and to create something that is truly yours. Great thoughts are born in the silence of your mind, but you must first be brave enough to enter that silence and dwell there long enough to hear them. Resist the mass mind. The world presses upon you from all sides, shaping your thoughts, your desires, your very existence. It whispers, it shouts, it demands that you conform, that you think, speak, and act in the way it deems acceptable. It creates a current so strong, so pervasive, that to swim against it feels like madness. But I tell you this, the true madman is the one who surrenders to the current without question. To resist the mass mind is not an act of rebellion for rebellion's sake. It is the act of reclaiming your autonomy. It is the refusal to allow your thoughts to be dictated by the majority, to allow your voice to be drowned in the chorus of the masses. This is not a call for isolation, but for a higher form of connection. Connection to your own truth, to your own unique way of seeing the world. To think differently, to speak differently, to act differently is not an easy path. It is a path of discomfort, of solitude, of questioning everything you have been told. It is to stand in the face of a world that demands conformity and say no. It is to defy the collective mind that seeks to reduce you to a cog in the machine, to turn you into a mere reflection of the crowd. But in this defiance lies the power to shape your own reality. The masses are content to follow the herd, to live in the safety of the known, but you are capable of more. You are capable of thinking, speaking, and acting in ways that transcend the ordinary, that cut through the noise of the world and reach something deeper, something truer. The individual who resists the mass mind is the one who becomes truly free. Free from the constraints of societal expectations, free from the limitations imposed by those who would see you conform. To think for yourself, to carve your own path, is to embrace the full power of your existence. Do not fear what they will say when you speak your truth. Do not fear what they will do when you step off the beaten path. For in that moment of defiance, you are not just resisting the mass mind, you are creating a new one that is born from the depths of your own being. In the end, it is not the Voices of the many that will shape the world. It is the voices of the few who dared to resist, who dared to be different. Will you be one of them? The wisdom of the body. Peace through movement. In a world that celebrates the mind as the supreme force, we have forgotten the power of the body. We sit, we think, we contemplate, but the body remains a mere vessel, a tool to carry our thoughts. Yet it is in the body, through its movement, that true harmony is found. The mind cannot be tamed by thought alone. It must be confronted, challenged, and liberated through the very flesh it inhabits. Movement is not simply a physical act, it is an expression of life itself. It is the body speaking a language that the mind cannot fully comprehend. When you move, you break free from the prison of your thoughts, from the weight of your worries and fears. The body becomes your ally, not just in survival, but in transcendence. It is through movement that you release the tension of the world, the anxiety of existence, and enter a space where the mind and body are in unison, where peace is not something you seek but something you become. To move is to reclaim your vitality, to awaken the dormant energies within you. It is to experience your body as the temple of your spirit, not merely a machine to be kept alive. When you move, when you stretch, when you sweat, you engage in an act of creation, a creation of balance, of strength, of inner peace. The harmony you seek in the mind cannot be achieved through stillness alone. It requires the rhythm of the body, the pulse of life that echoes through every step, every breath, every motion. The wisdom of the body teaches you that peace is not a passive state. It is an active process, a living force that flows through you as you move. Every gesture, every stretch, every leap is an expression of freedom, an act of defiance against the stagnation of the mind. The body, when allowed to move freely, becomes a conduit for the release of inner turmoil, a vessel through which you reconnect with the primal energy of life. Through movement, you find stillness, not as an absence of action, but as the presence of presence itself. Your mind quiets, your heart steadies, and in that moment of perfect alignment, you experience a peace that transcends understanding. It is not the kind of peace that comes from avoiding conflict or retreating from the world. It is the peace that arises from engaging fully with it, from moving through it, from living in it with every fiber of your being. Do not neglect the wisdom of your body. Do not relegate it to the realm of mere function. It holds the key to the harmony you seek, not through stillness, but through the courageous act of movement. Move, and in that movement find your peace. Peace is not sought, it is created. Peace is not a distant land, a far-off sanctuary where we hope to retreat from the chaos of the world. It is not something to be found, but something to be forged. In the relentless noise of existence, it is easy to fall into the illusion that peace exists outside of us, somewhere beyond the horizon of our daily struggles. But to believe this is to misunderstand the very nature of peace. It is not a thing to be discovered, but a force to be cultivated, nurtured, and made real in the very space we occupy. You must learn to create the environment that supports your inner calm, to shape the world around you into a mirror of the stillness you seek within. It is not enough to wait for peace to fall upon you like a blessing from above. You must actively carve it out, build it with your own hands, with your own choices. The environment you inhabit, your home, your work, your relationships, becomes the stage upon which your inner peace plays out. It is here that the foundation is laid, not in the abstract, but in the concrete elements of your life. This is not about creating a sterile, emotionless space, free of all disturbance. It is about crafting an environment that reflects your true self, one that supports your deepest needs, your highest aspirations. It is about consciously choosing what to allow in and what to keep out. The clutter of the world can suffocate you, filling your space with distractions, with noise, with demands that keep you from the calm that lies within. To create peace, You must remove what does not serve you, what does not nourish your soul. The peace you seek is not something that is simply given to you. It is something you must command, create, and protect. The environment you build will either support your stillness or drown it in the chaos of external forces. The choice is yours. Will you allow the world to impose its turmoil upon you, or will you create a sanctuary that reflects your inner strength, your deepest peace? In this act of creation, you will discover the truth. Peace is not a gift to be given. It is a power to be cultivated. Every decision, every action, every thought you allow to enter your life either builds the peace you seek or erodes it. You are not a passive recipient of peace. You are its creator, and in this power, you will find the tranquility that has always been yours, waiting to be awakened. Create the environment that nurtures peace, and you will no longer seek it. You will live it effortlessly every moment of your existence. What if I told you that the greatest revolution you could ever experience is not one that happens in the streets or in the structures of power, but one that begins deep within you? What if the true upheaval, the profound transformation, is the quiet rebellion of the soul against the noise, the chaos, and the demands of the world? This is not a revolution that breaks things. It is a revolution that builds you piece by piece from the inside out. Peace, true peace, is not a passive state. It is not the absence of conflict. It is the ability to face the world's chaos and still stand unshaken. It is the revolution of the self, the overthrow of the lies you have been told, the lies you have told yourself about who you are and what you need. To seek peace is to confront the deepest parts of yourself, to challenge the very essence of your being, and to say, I will not be ruled by anything outside of me. This is where the real work begins, not in distant lands or in mythical futures, but in the very present moment, in the now. The revolution is constant, unyielding, and it requires a commitment to your own transformation. Every thought, every action, every choice you make is part of this ongoing rebellion against the forces that seek to control you. You are the architect of your own peace, and this peace is not something you will stumble upon by chance. It is something you create every single day through the decisions you make, the thoughts you nurture, and the actions you take. So, what will you do now? Will you remain a passive spectator, swept along by the current of the world, or will you take hold of your own destiny and choose to create the peace that lies within you? This is not a question of ease. It is a challenge, a call to arms against the forces of distraction, of doubt, and of fear. But the reward is unparalleled, a freedom that no external force can take from you, a peace that cannot be shaken. The revolution is yours to lead, and it begins with the simple, profound truth: peace is not found. It is made by you, for you, in every moment. Every breath, every step, every choice is an act of revolution. So rise, build your peace, and through it change the world, not by force, but by the quiet, unshakable power of your own transformation.